mainly a question for whoever wants it, but you guys started that Save NACS hashtag a little bit ago, and it sort of seems like in this tournament you guys are the face of this new NAC and alongside teams like Extra Salt that didn't make the tournament, unfortunately. But do you guys feel any pressure with having almost like the weight of NA on your back at all, or is that not something you're too concerned with?
I'll go ahead and answer that. I think if anything, it takes less weight off our shoulders knowing we have a bunch of support and people who believe in us and the project that we're trying to create. And I mean, we've gotten nothing short of like support from every single person, and honestly, that really does just take the weight off of, and it just makes us feel like we could just play, and it's basically like we're at home.
Yeah, I'm with that too. Like a lot of the journalists and everybody back home is supporting us, so I think that that's like really motivating for us. And like personally, I don't really think about kind of like representing the region in a way. I mostly just think about like our team and kind of where we're at, and that's like mostly the things that I focus on, kind of when we're coming to this event. So like I definitely know that I'm like representing an A, and it's like good for me and like our team to be like ahead and like the front of that or whatever, the face of it. But I'm just kind of focused on like what our team is and like what we can do with this event and like our own growth.
I couldn't add any more. That sounds about right for me.
So I got a question for all of you guys, but you've struggled to get an org for a little bit now. I'm also just wondering, how does it make you guys feel? Does it frustrate you, or does it make you almost want to work harder to really show them that you deserve that org and you deserve that spot in CS:GO?
I would say the thing with the org right now, we're not too worried about it. I mean, it'd be nice to be on an org and represent them, but at the same time, we're going our own avenue with the whole BNB thing. And for right now, it's working out. We did a whole merch drop recently, and that did really well. It sold out in the first 2 hours. So yeah, for right now, we're doing fine. I mean, I like not being tied to an organization, having to be strictly, do this, do that, have to act this way, have to act that way. We're just, being ourselves and having a good time and living the dream, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that too. If anything, I think it motivates me as well to continue to like play and put in the extra work and get the results. I think that when you don't have an org, you are kind of fighting. When you look at something like Cologne here, I think we're the only team here that doesn't have an org, and so it's like that in itself is like a statement. And I think continuing to make statements like that is really important and what we're looking to do.
Yeah, like the big thing with me is just I like trying really hard against the teams that like have an organization, have a facility, and just like the feeling when I get my team to win against them is just so fulfilling, to be honest, because I'm like, dude, these guys have this, and all the things that they should never lose to a team like us that don't have analysts, don't have paid people doing everything for us. And it's like it just makes me so much happier, and I love tweeting about it at the end of the day, like after I beat them and saying like, dude, like I just took out a team, like we keep beating all these teams that have all this money, like put your money where it's actually going to be beneficial and like where you can make some back, you know.
All right, you guys recently added Chake to your roster. Just talk a bit about what it's been like having him and sort of what he's added to the team since he's came in.
You muted.
Oh,
Your
my
mic's
mic was
muted,
muted.
John.
My mic was muted. My bad. Honestly, I'll go. So when we first wanted to bring Alan onto the team, it was more of like I brought it up in the team speak, like to start the discussion off, and it was just basically we needed somebody like right now that understood how to play the game and like the things that we needed, because with our past, like with the person who we replaced him with, Alter, he was a very skilled player, and we just needed the experience now and didn't have the time, because like we have this event in Pro League and we just didn't have the time to like show someone and teach them exactly how to do everything. We needed somebody that could come in and know how to do that. And also at the exact same time, I noticed like Pete was just and still is just absolutely annihilating everybody with the op. And I was like, dude, he's just farming everybody. I want to see what it's like if he's not having to call and worry about what everybody else is doing, and he can just shoot people with the op. And it's been like he has been owning. He's like back to the PTR that I saw in CLG when I was 16, owning everybody. So it's been really nice to see.
Yeah, and I would just add, it's taking a lot of pressure off me. Alan's obviously a very smart individual, inside and outside of the game. So he came on and pretty much picked everything up instantly. I mean, we have a few problems here and there that we need to work on, but other than that, like calling wise, it's pretty good. But yeah, like John said, for me personally, it was really hard for me to micromanage, tell everyone what to do, and still be the opera that I need to be to compete at a high level. So my original thought was not to bring in Shake. My original thought was to bring in another rifler who, could frag and I could still call. But the more we talked about it, the more we thought about it, was I think this was the right move. We brought him in to scrim with us. In the first scrim, I mean, he's instantly doing things that veteran players are doing, things that they're saying, think that's how they're rotating. They're calling for flashes for people, like just doing things that are small things that people might not realize other than aim, So
And one last thing to add is I think I forgot to say, but he just comes very prepared every single day for practice. Whether like we're going over this map, he's gonna get in the server with an hour, like for us with an hour before, and just like make sure our scrims aren't being wasted, and we know exactly what we're there to do and what we're trying to practice or get done that day. So yeah, that was just one thing to add.
I have a bit of a two-parter for whoever wants it. What are your guys' expectations for Cologne and going forward into the Pro League? And I can't remember the other part, so I guess just go with that.
I think our expectation is definitely like a bare minimum to make Cologne. Like as John said, if we come in and we play our game and we're doing what we're supposed to do, I think we can compete with all these teams, and there's no reason that we can't be up there with the best of them if we come in here and we have like a good week. So I think that our goal is definitely to have a good showing at both of these events. It's an amazing opportunity to be over here in Europe, and this is like a lot of people view coming over to EU and coming to these events as like, oh, you've made it, like you've qualified for these events. But like the goal of these events is to like become competitive and to become a team that's winning. And so coming here and getting last place in these events isn't going to get us invited to more events. It's not going to get us back over here to Europe. And so our job is to come here and to win these games and prove that we can be a team that competes on the stage so that we can continue to come back and continue to make strides and make events and all that stuff.
Oh, I remembered my other point. Again, for anybody who wants it, do you guys think that you might be underestimated, especially by some of these like really top tier European teams? Do you think they might almost prepare a little bit less for you? And do you think you might be able to exploit that in your next upcoming games?
yes, I think every single team we're going to play is think we're garbage or we're just not good, and they're going to regret that very much so. I've played, I'm probably the most tenured player on the team, so I've played the most EUs. And every time, yeah, I would say that's their attitude every time we come over. I've talked to many of them, like, yeah, we didn't even watch your demos. Like, we just know, you're from NA. So it's like, okay, that's fine. So you're just going to underestimate us. Like, and I'm not sure they have that kind of mentality still, but I don't know why it would change, right? Because there's really only Liquid and EG. And right now, everyone else, besides Extra, everyone else is sort of struggling in NA. So it's sort of like, yeah, they're just going to see, okay, Bad News Bears, how'd they get here? Okay, they got, from the world ranking. Okay, whatever. I think if they do that, then it's their downfall. But I'm ready either way.
All right, I think I had one last question. So you guys added Mad Cow in, I think, February. How is it having the coach? What do you think he adds to the team? And especially now that you guys are back on LAN, how important do you think the coach role is towards the team?
So we added Nate back then. At first he was just coming in because we sort of we needed a coach we knew was available. But he surprised me with how knowledgeable he actually was, because he wasn't like a known coach, really. He wasn't like everyone knows Mad Cow. It's like he was someone that Swish knew, and I knew from as well. So we brought him in. Me and him connected well. I was the IGL at the time, and I thought he did great. The problem with him is he has his schedule is really rough for us sometimes, where he had to work overnight, but he's fixed that now. But for the most part, I think he does everything we need. Him and Alan are more on point now together since I'm not the IGL. It's Alan could speak to him more, but for the most part, we interacted well, and he does everything I needed him to do.
It's pretty much just nice because he's always there and ready to do work and be alongside me. So if I'm ever like, hey, can we get on and watch this demo? Or hey, do you have time to do, this? It's just we can do whatever out of the server, and it's motivating to have somebody next to you that's willing to do all of that with you. And so, like I said, he's just super available for all that stuff, and he's ready to just get to work and do what needs to get done.
Yeah, he's also really good for our vibes too, because something I've always felt like in most of my teams, like with Chaos, and especially this one, is something I tried bringing over, is just having a good vibe and laughing. And you're playing a video game for money at the end of the day, like you should have a smile on your face. So, and when you're doing so, it just takes like the pressure off, and when you're laughing and having fun, it doesn't make you so tense, and you just have fun, right? So I try to make sure we do that, and he has one of the funniest laughs, and like there's 3 people on our team that if you make one of them laugh, your whole team speak's gonna be laughing for the next 5 minutes. So it's really great. He really has like that vibe, and if we're getting in that mode where we're too serious or something, like he'll just start giggling or something, and it'll like make everybody just put that smile back on their face and be like, dude, we're here to play a video game. Like, let's just play, man.
Just to wrap it up from our side, I'm looking at this webcam. I'm seeing the sick hoodie, the sick hat. It's all sold out. When is the next merch drop? When is the stuff available again?
So I don't think we're entirely sure, but we released a merch shop before Cologne, and we're scheduled to go to Pro League on August. So we're probably gonna try to get it like a week or two before then, and we'll be releasing a lot more cool stuff hopefully than just a couple 3 pieces of merch. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, we were actually really surprised that it sold out that quick. Like we knew it was gonna sell out, but we didn't think it was gonna sell out in 2.5 hours. Like it was 3 hours, and then I get about 20 to 30 messages saying, "Hey, I can't buy any of your stuff. What's going on?" I'm like, give us time, So that's a really cool feeling. And that's another reason why it doesn't matter to me that we don't have an org right now, because the fact that we have a big following with B&B already, we can sort of like go how Astralis did. I'm not saying we're going to do that, but potentially just make our own org and just do our own thing and grab sponsors like Leadify and maybe potentially other ones. I like your goatee, by the way. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Cheers.
Me too.